Hey guys, Subharaj here, and here's a lesson video after a while. So I was just working with a student on like substitutions, chord substitutions, and we were working on the two most, I would say, the most straightforward way of getting started with that. One is your secondary dominance, and the other is TriTone substitution, which is really an extension of that particular topic. So we're gonna talk about these two topics. So let's start off with maybe a 1625 in the key of C to keep things simple. So we got a C major 7, an A minus 7, a D minus 7, that's your 2, and a G dominant 7. In this particular case, I'm using a dominant 7 with 13 on top, just because why not? The definition of a secondary dominant is a non-diatonic dominant chord which is used to resolve to a diatonic chord. So let's say my diatonic chords are 1, 6, 2, and 5, right? So now let's say I want to make that transition a little bit more sophisticated. So I can precede my target chord with a dominant chord which is built on the 5 of that target chord. So listen to every sentence that I'm saying carefully because it is important. If you don't understand that part, you will just be going around in circles. Anyway, so here my target chord from 1 to 6. So 6 minor, that's A minor is my target chord. Now what did I say? You build a dominant chord based on the 5 of that target chord. So the 5 of A is E. So you play an E dominant 7, okay, to precede that A minor. So here's what that sounds like: 1 major 7, 5 of 6, resolving to 6 minor. So of course you can do the same for the 2 and the 5 chord. So the 5 of the 2 minor, which is D minor, is A, because 5 of D is A. So here's what that sounds like so far: 1 major 7, 5 of 6, 6 minor, 5 of 2 to 2 minus 7, right? And again, the next one is a 5 chord. Now this 5 chord, of course, you can use a secondary dominant with it to precede that, but it's also important to remember one thing, that this 5 chord is known as a primary dominant chord. So in every major scale you have one dominant chord which exists, a diatonic dominant chord, that's known as the primary dominant. In case of C, that's G. So yeah, now the secondary dominant for G7 is gonna be D7, right? So here's what that sounds like: the whole 1625 progression along with the secondary dominants. 1 major 7, 5 of 6 to 6 minor, 5 of 2 to 2 minor, 5 of 5 to 5 dominant 7, resolving back to your 1. Cool. So now right now you're hearing it in more of like a chordal context. Like, what if you want to create some music? Now see, the way I like looking at it, there is really no one method that fits all. I think you should rely on your ears and your creative ambition and your creative capabilities for how you want to use it, but I'll show you how I use it. Quick little plug: I am a full-time music educator, so if you want to learn guitar, music theory, improvisation, composition, solo guitar playing, the kind of stuff I'm playing here, feel free to get in touch. My details are in the description below. You can message me on WhatsApp, you can email me, and I'll give you the details you need for that, and we'll get started. So yeah, now back to the topic. Now let's say you wanna make this sound even more sophisticated. That is where we get into the tritone substitution, which is also known as sub 5s. Now, sub 5s are essentially dominant chords which are built on the tritone of your secondary dominant, right? So, again, listen to the sentence clearly. Sub 5s are dominant chords which are built on the tritone of the secondary dominant. For example, let's say my secondary dominant for A minor was E7. Now, tritone for E is B flat, right? So I can substitute this E dominant 7 with a B flat and then resolve to A minor. So here's what that sounds like. First, I'll play the secondary dominant. So C major 7, 5 of 6 to the 6 minor. And here's the sub 5. C major 7, sub 5 of 6 to 6 minor. Okay. So of course, just like the secondary dominants, you can use the same idea on the other chords as well. So 5 of your 2 chord was A7. So tritone of A7 is E flat, right? So you replace that A7 with E flat to resolve to D minor 7. And then again, 5 of G7 was D7. So tritone of D is A flat, resolving to G7. And then again, tritone of your 1 chord in this case is gonna be D flat, resolving back to C major 7, right? So here's what only the tritones sound like. So C major 7, tritone of 6 to the 6 minor, tritone of 2 to the 2 minor, tritone of 5 to the 5 major, 5 dominant, tritone of 1 leading back to 1, right? Now what I'm gonna do is give you some real world context. I think one of the most, I would say, annoying things that happen to any musician when they start getting into the whole world of music theory and improvisation in general is that when you learn a concept like this, you tend to only use that particular context, and you tend to think that somehow magically you're gonna start making music. But it's important to realize that any concept that you learn is merely a concept. It is not the only particular method that you're gonna use to make music. It's like words. You can describe a certain situation using many kinds of sentences. These different sentences might even share words in common, but the way you express it is gonna be slightly different. So, you're gonna have to treat all of these concepts exactly like that. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix and match the secondary dominants and the sub fives, along with some tensions. I'm not gonna talk about the tensions I'm adding in this video. I can make a separate video on that. If you are interested, comment down below. And if you like the video, thumbs up and maybe share it. That helps the channel. Subscribe to the channel as well. That really helps as well. But yeah, so here's a little bit of me kind of improv. So yeah, a little something. I hope this little lesson was helpful. If it was, again, consider liking the video, consider subscribing to the channel for more tutorials. There are more tutorials. You can just go to my channel, search for a playlist called Guitar Tutorials. And there are also a few other videos if you want to check it out. And again, if you want to take private lessons with me, my details are in the description below. Get in touch. So yeah, hope this was helpful. If you have any further questions, feel free to comment down below or email me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.